Alright, welcome back everyone, and we're here for yet another crack at Journey Along the Anduin. We've got the deck set up here, so let's read the flavor text. Journey down the Anduin. Having survived the dangers of Mirkwood Forest, the heroes continue their journey along the banks of the Anduin River toward Lorien, with dire news of a gathering threat in southern Mirkwood. Quest card 1, To the River. Emerging from Mirkwood Forest with an urgent message for Lady Galadriel, you must now make your way south along the Anduin River in order to reach the Forest of Lorien. As you leave the forest behind, you notice that you are being pursued, and thus quicken your pace. Reveal one card from the encounter deck, and it's the Banks of the Anduin. Flip it over, and we've got to find a hill troll. There's one there. Alright. Take our 6 cards. Should have done this earlier actually, but I already know that the hill troll was going to be coming. I'll keep this. Some nice cards in there. Right. We'll go to the resource phase. And one card. Very nice to see. Since our threat does tend to go up in this quest. On to the planning phase. I'll search for an eagle card with the eagles are coming, or any number of eagle cards, rather. No luck so far. There's one. And we did get this, but it's not eagle traded. Just one Gua here. We already had him in hand as well, I do believe. But we can always use that card for Anduin. And it is just getting through the deck quicker. So that's not too bad. Could have been better, but could have also pulled none. And I think I've done something silly here. Oh, I put it in my hand. Good. Good, good. So the hand now has 2 Gwahirs in it. Gwahir, perhaps, is the more correct pronunciation. I'm going to play down the Winged Guardian. Yeah, to get that ally in play in case it's needed. I'm going to save the Spirit resource. May need a Hasty Stroke. If not, Galadriel's Handmaiden is probably going to be quite useful here, or even the Unexpected Courage, both 2-cost Spirit cards. On to questing. We'll exhaust Eowyn. The Helltroll shouldn't be engaging with us here. So I'm going to exhaust all the heroes. I can stand Boromir if I really have to. But that's 6. There's 2 threat in the encounter area right now. Encounter card. Deal 1 damage to each exhausted character. Well, that's pretty much one of the worst cards I could have pulled. On the bright side, it means there's only 2 threat in the staging area there still against R6. I don't need the second Gua here, so in the interest of progressing towards the quest, I'm going to discard it, boost Eowyn's willpower to 5. So we have 7 willpower questing here, 2 threat in the staging area. We net 5 progress toward the quest. 4, 5, 6, and no, sorry, 5. Because yes, it was 7 to 2, so 5 there. The travel phase, yeah. I think my mistake, in addition to some bad luck in the last game, was letting myself get location locked to the point where there was nothing I could do. So I am going to be trying to clear these locations. This is also nice to know that this is going to be going back on the encounter deck when I do eventually clear it. So we've traveled to the banks of the Anduin. Encounter, we're at 29. The Helltroll engages at 30, so nothing there. And we're gonna ready everyone now because there's no combat. And tick the dial up to 30. Alright. Resource phase. Should get a card here too. Interesting. Interesting indeed. I can't play that Matham this turn, unfortunately, because the Galadriel's Handmaiden is a better play, I think, to keep the Helltroll from engaging yet again, make some more progress towards the quest. Give myself a chance to build up some tactics resources here. But the Matham on the banks of the Anduin would have been nice. That said, we know it's probably going to recur if we quest well here. So, my planning phase, Galadriel's Handmaiden enters play, I choose myself, and I reduce my threat by 1. So we're back to 29. Should be keeping that Helltroll from engaging us. Unless something nasty happens. Pay for Eowyn's resources. The decision what to do with the tactics resources here is easy. It's a handful of spirit cards, with the exception of that guy here, who costs 5, and it's really not an optimal time to play him anyway because I have no other eagles in my discard pile. Okay, we're going to go on to the questing phase. We'll exhaust Eowyn again. We'll exhaust Galadriel's Handmaiden. That is 6 to 1 in the staging area right now. But since I can stand Boromir if I really need him, I'm going to go with him as well. So we're at 7. There's 1 in the staging area. And it is a Marshatter. Forced. Each time Marshatter attacks you, raise your threat by 1. Well, that's a really, really nasty enemy. The nice thing is that our threat's not 40, but he's really going to accelerate our defeat if we get our threat kind of high. So we've got to watch out for that. Anyway, there's now 4 threat in the staging area. We committed 7 to the quest. We would beat it by 3, but we're not going to make any progress towards the actual quest. We're just going to clear that location if I don't add anything. I think I am going to have to get rid of the Ancient Matham, just to boost myself. So that triggers Aowen. Aowen's willpower goes up to 5. 5, 2, 4, or sorry, 8 to 4. 3 of it goes on here, forced reaction, right to the top of the encounter deck. That's nice, it's not too potent and we know it's coming. We have 1 extra, goes on our quest. Okay. No engagements here. And we're going to ready everyone. And now our threat is, let me go to 30. All right, planning phase. 4 tactics resources here now, and a card. This isn't too useful right now, since we have no eagle. It can really trigger on, so this might just be used to quest with Aowen. All right. There's nothing I can play in this planning phase. The Hill Troll is going to engage this turn. So we're just going to quest with the 2 who are going to be pretty useless defending or attacking. So that's a 6. We know there's a 1 coming. So yeah, I can always discard a card and advance the quest in that manner. Alright. So we do flip that. 5 there. We had 6. To ensure we advance Meldor's Flight. Gets us to... Alright, this happens right away. We've cleared the first part of the quest. Haven't done that before. So I'm either improving or my luck's not as bad this game. Probably some combination of the 2. Alright. Anduin Passage. Am I forced to beat this troll? Sorry. I am forced to beat the troll. But I do have the 8 on it. So when I do beat the troll, it's ready to go. My mistake. Travel phase, we're going to travel here to not get location locked. And to just recur that onto the top of the deck will be nice as well. Because it's really probably the weakest card in there. Okay. Our threat is 30, so the Hill Troll is going to engage with us, which is nice because we do need to kill it at this point, and I think we have enough allies in play to contend with it. So he's going to attack. He's going to be dealt a shadow card. I'm going to defend with the Winged Guardian. Which is going to die, but it's going to have done its job. Okay. 6 to 4. Currently killing it, but there may be shadow effect here. Shadow. Deal X shadow cards to the attacker. X is the number of players in the game. Okay, so 1 additional shadow card. Okay, another shadow effect. Attacking enemy gets +1 damage. +2, or +1 attack, rather. +2 attack instead if defending player's threat is 35 or higher. Fortunately, it's not. It's just 1, but this is going to accelerate our threat. Because he's now beating us 7 to 4, and the excess damage after killing the Winged Guardian turns into threat. So we accelerate up to 33. These actually stay here. Okay. We're now going to attack. 3 with Boromir, 3 with Legolas, dealing the Hill Troll 3 past his defense of 3. Okay. Could have been better, but it's nice to start getting damage through. We're now going to ready everyone. Threat to 34. And into the resource phase. Okay. Card. This isn't great. No, that's not great. Fortunately, we do have the resources to play Gwai here now. And it's going to get us our Winged Guardian back. Kind of nullify some of the damage we'd be, or some of the threat we'd be taking. Spend 5, he's in play, trigger his response. Put an eagle in play from our discard pile. It's the Winged Guardian, the one with the best defense. So that was nice that was in there. Playing the second Handmaiden doesn't really help us here, so far as I can see. Sorry, that should be ready. I also don't think the Unexpected Courage is going to be that useful at this point. Boromir can stand anyway. I don't think there's going to be multiple enemies attacking us, even if there is. Yeah, I'm going to not spend Eowyn's resources. If there's a nasty shadow effect, we've got the Hasty Stroke, but the real goal is to play the Galahad Dream's Greetings. Okay. So questing. At this point, we're just questing to save threat. There's 3 in the staging area. We'll quest with Eowyn. We'll also quest with the Handmaiden. Why not? She's pretty useless attacking and defending. Got 6 to 3. When revealed, each location in the staging area gets +1 threat until the end of the phase. Then each player with threat 35 or higher chooses and discards 1 card from his hand. Fortunately, threat is 34, and there's no locations in the staging area, so that's really the perfect time to draw that card. Okay, so we're at 6 to 3, which actually allows us to perfectly clear this Banks of the Anduin, and put it right here, back on top. engagement. 40 to 34. It's not going to engage. The hill troll is already engaged. On to combat. Deal him a shadow card. Going to defend his attack with the Winged Guardian. And there's no shadow effect. We knew that because we just put the banks of the Anduin there. Okay. He's still raising the threat by 2 because it was 6 to 4. So we're now at 36. These bad effects are going to start going off, which is why I've saved the 2 resources to try and lower this as quickly as possible on my next turn when I have the 3rd. Sorry, leave that there. Winged Guardian's gone, but it's done its job. Okay, now we're going to attack with all of our standing characters. Gwahir, Legolas, and Boromir. They each have an attack of 3, so we're dealing 9 against the defense of 3 for the Hill Troll. That nets 6 damage, which is exactly what we need. Hill Troll's gone. Unfortunately, Legolas's trigger for killing the enemy is useless because we already have all the progress we need towards this quest, but we do advance now. Alright, now it's Anduin Passage. This is discarded as well. After defeating the troll, you are able to board the raft and embark upon a river voyage. As you depart, your enemies pursue, harassing the small vessel as you attempt to navigate the river. As your enemies harass the raft, it is difficult to maintain balance and effectively fight them off. Reveal 1 additional card from the encounter deck each quest phase. Do not make engagement checks during the encounter phase. Each player may still optionally engage 1 enemy each encounter phase. Wow, that's a really potent card. Okay. The combat's done. We're going to refresh here. And dial to 37. Alright, start of the turn. 1, 2, 3. That's part of the Eagles is a nice card with Gwahir in play. It's probably best on Legolas, just because he's what we want killing stuff. Okay. We now have 3 resources here. We're going to play the Galahadrian's Greetings to get ourselves below 35, which is the threshold for a lot of these bad effects. So we take 5 off, or 6 off 37, so we're down to 31. Much nicer to see. We have 3 tactics resources as well. These are going to go actually, it makes sense to have this on Boromir just for his flexibility of standing. He can participate in the attacks with Legolas if we need him to be doing that. Okay, questing phase. We've got 3 in the staging area. Questing with Eowyn, questing with the Handmaiden. We're going to quest with Gwahir too, and since enemies can't engage with us, we're going to quest with Boromir. Alright. 6, 8, 9. 3 in the staging area, but 2 cards. Okay. Deal 1 damage to each character controlled by each player with a threat of 35 or higher. Well, fortunately, we played that Galahadrian's Greetings. Deal 1 damage to each exhausted character. Okay, this one's not good. It's going to make us lose our Handmaid. And it's going to put Eowyn really quite dangerously close to dying. So losing that 2 willpowers is really not great. So we now only have 4, 6, 7 willpower committed to the quest against 3 in the staging area. We're going to discard our Unexpected Courage, boost Eowyn's willpower to 5. We're now at 8 to 3, so we're going to make 5 progress towards this quest. Okay. Alright, engagement 40 to 31. No combat. There's no traveling either, I should mention. Gonna stand everyone. Increase our threat to 32. Alright. Start of a new turn. Resource for all our heroes. New card. It's a Vassal of the Windlord. It's a nice cheap unit. Good to get an ally in play. Alright, planning phase, we're going to play that. Use Boromir's resource. It's probably a higher chance of him dying if he has to defend something for us. We ideally would be playing Galadriel's Handmaid, just to get this off Eowyn, because she might die at any moment, but she only has 1 resource, costs 2. I am able to play the Hasty Stroke, but that might not save me, because it's probably not going to be a shadow effect that does her in. But we do need to try to clear this as quickly as possible before the staging area builds up. So we're going to have to risk Eowyn to quest. We're going to quest with Gwaihir again, and we're going to quest with Boromir. Actually, quest with Legolas as well this time. Vassal of the Windlord's just useless at questing, so no point in risking it. Alright, that gives us 8 willpower against the 3 currently in the staging area. 2 encounter cards are drawn. Ooh, there's a Gladden Fields, threat of 3. And it's another Gladden Fields. Okay, that's 9. We were at 8. This is rough, so we're gonna have to discard. I'm gonna discard the Hasty Stroke because nothing's engaging us this turn. So that discard actually just gets us to 9 to 9. And doesn't net us any progress, but it does save us from the increasing threat. Travel, we're going to have to travel to one of these Gladden Fields. While it's the active location, I have to raise my threat an additional point during the refresh phase. Okay. There's no combat here. I'm not sending the Marshatter at me because I don't have a way to kill it this turn. I may have to consider engaging that next turn though. Okay. Gonna go to the refresh phase. Refresh everyone. And we have to increase our threat an additional point because Gladden Fields is there. So we're up to 34 now. And it's another planning phase. Or another resource phase, I should say. Meneldor's Flight might be useful eventually, but it's not immediately because I don't have enough resources to play Gwaihir again, and he'd be the one I would be returning. What we will do, though, is play the Galadriel's Handmaiden that was in her hand. 2 resources off Eowyn. And we're going to quest. Now I think I need to engage this Marshatter. It's just a question of who's going to defend it. 4 to 2 should be okay. I mean, I can add Can add Guahir's defense as well, so it'd be 4 to 3. That should be safe with Boromir. And then we try to kill it with these 3, which means only these 2 can quest. We're at 6 to the 3. Or 6 to 6 currently, based on what's in the staging area. I mean, I could quest with Boromir as well, but I'd have to stand him to deal with this Marshatter. So it's really gonna be netting me threat either way, I think. So we're just gonna flip the 2. Okay, thank God. Deal 1 damage to each character controlled by a player with threat 35 or higher. We're safe. We're at 34. And it's pursued by shadows. Each player raises his threat by 1 for each character he controls that is not currently committed to a quest. Well, that's nasty. I'm gonna raise it by 4 to 38. It is 6 to 6 though. And you know what, in the interest of making some form of progress, we're going to discard this because I'm not going to be able to play it this turn. And we're going to net 1 progress onto Gladden Fields here. Because we're then at 7 to 6. Okay. Engagement, no, but I will optionally engage this Marshatter. Go to combat, the Marshatter attacks, raises my threat by 1, 39. Boromir defends. I'm going to exhaust Support of the Eagles to give him Guahir's defense as well. So he's now defending with 3. Marshatter's attacking with 4, and we deal it a shadow card. Flip it. Choose and discard 1 attachment from the defending character. Okay, that's really unfortunate. What's this card called? Driven by Shadow. I think I lose the gained defense because this card's no longer on him. That's how I'm going to play it. It's to my disadvantage. But I think that's the correct ruling. Fortunately, he doesn't die. The adder's attack is 4, his defense is 2, so he's going to be 1 away from death here. I don't need to ready him because I have enough down to kill the Marshatter. So Legolas, Guahir, and Vassal of the Windlord. That's 9 to 1. 8, it has 7 health. Legolas just killed an enemy, so we place 2 progress, and we clear Gladden Fields, which is important, because going into our refresh phase, we now don't have to raise our threat by 2, just the normal 1. Okay, it's our refresh phase now. And it's just 40. This is concerning though, we have 2 heroes, 1 away from death, and our threat's at 40, so, you know, with just 1 encounter card, we could lose 2 of the 3 here at any moment. There's not much we can do about that. Alright. Resource for all of them. We're just going to top deck here, see what we get. It's our 3rd Guahir. So I guess he's just going to be used with Eowyn most likely. Alright, questing time. We're going to commit 4, 6, 8 to the quest. I'm not putting Boromir in here in case there's an effect that damages Nelk characters. I don't want to lose 2 in one go. And So we've got 8, there's 3 in the staging area, 2 encounter cards. Okay, Enchanted Stream. And Despair. When revealed, remove 4 progress tokens from the current quest card. Yikes. Okay. Could have been worse, but that's pretty bad. Alright, so there's 5 threat in the staging area. We were questing with 8. I'm going to make that 9, because I don't need this quite here. So we beat it by 4. So we basically just replace what we lost there. Okay, travel phase. I'd rather get the 3 out, even if it means I have to increase my threat, because I'm just gonna lose if I can't progress through this quick. All right, refresh phase, and we have to take the dial by 2 because of that Gladden Fields being the active location. And into the resource phase. I am just top decking here, but it's better than drawing no cards at all, which is what the Enchanted Stream would have done to me. It's a faint, great card, not useful right now. But it could be useful because it might allow me to quest with everyone and know that I can just engage an enemy and it's not going to be able to attack me. So I think that's the play. Questing Eowyn, Handmaiden, Gwaihir, Legolas, and Boromir. Just have to hope I don't pull nasty event. It's very possible 2 are going to die here. 1, 2, 6, 8, 10 willpower is questing right now. There's 2 in the staging area. There's another Gladden Fields. And it's a Warg. Okay. It's a nasty pull. So there's now 8 threat in the staging area. I was questing with 10. I'm gonna... I can't discard my feint because I need it to stop a hero from dying. That Warg's gonna kill any one of them, even if I refresh Boromir. So that's what we're gonna have to do. We're only gonna make 2 progress, keeping the Gladden Fields. It's the active location. Now engagement. The Warg does engage combat. Actually, the feint goes before it goes to attack. It's engaged with me. It now can't attack me this phase. It's also nice because it doesn't bounce back into the staging area. Okay, with Boromir because he's closer to dying. So now it's sitting here. I can kill it if I ready Boromir. It's going to increase the threat. But I can't have this bouncing around and causing problems. Increase my threat by 1. Threat's now 43. Boromir and the Vassal of the Windlord attack the Warg, killing it. And Gladden Fields is still there. So as we refresh, we tick by 2 to 45. Refresh everyone. Okay, resource phase. This current situation is making the Ancient Matham discard look like a pretty bad play. That's nice. Blade of Gondolin. It's going to help us quest by killing some enemies here. Could be useful, could have to use it with Eowyn. We'll see. Play is clearly to quest with everyone to try to get that Gladden Fields out of there before the dial just ticks up like crazy. Keep the Vessel of the Windlord because it has no willpower. There's currently 5 in the staging area. Flip 2. 1 damage to each exhausted character. I think this is going to end the game for us. Boromir dies. Eowyn dies. Handmaiden dies. Why here? Legolas. Okay. 1. We've got 3 willpower now. Against 5. And we still have a card to go. Oh, and it's the Brown Lands. 3 willpower against 10. Dial's at 45. It's going to tick up 7. That's going to take it over 50. And that's a defeat. We did better this time. So that's promising. In retrospect, I probably should have killed the Marsh Adder earlier. But yeah, the double Gladden Fields was really nasty pull, I think. But improving here, so perhaps next time this will be beaten. Until then, thanks for watching.